The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hi everybody, it's Beverly from Forever Paws Animal Shelter here today with a nice little guest. This is called Rain. Rain is one of our adopters, went home to a wonderful home, and this is Melanie Guimond. So Melanie is Rain's mom. So why do we have Rain here on the studio today? Well, Rain has a long story. Rain was adopted how many years ago?
3 now. December
3 years.
2020, yep.
So when Rain was at the shelter, Rain was a special needs cat because we knew Rain was sick. And we didn't think Rain was going to make it, right?
Nope.
So you want to tell the audience, what did Rain have?
She had a sarcoma on her nose, very rare for a cat. And we took her, it was supposed to be hospice. That's what our
It was hospice, yes.
So we already had 4 cats. My husband was like, oh, seriously? It's just going to be a few months, 6 months, she's not going to survive.
Right.
And I just said, I'm not going to give up. So we took her to the vet, and we go to Vitality. She recommended a physician surgeon at Bay State in Swansea, Dr. Bizanson. He saved her life. So we first had the surgery done, and we got partially extracted, but he wasn't comfortable with it. He couldn't guarantee that it was out. So we went to a oncologist at Ocean State in Rhode Island. He did CAT scans and he did ultrasounds to make sure it hadn't spread. And that way Dr. Bizanson could go in with the second surgery and know where all the margins were. So they could
And
tell.
this was on her nose?
Just her nose.
But there's no scar?
Well, she has no fur. You can see like her hair never grew back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he showed me, Dr. Bizanson, on the second surgery, he showed me the pictures that I can't believe she even has a face left because it was so deep that he went into it.
Oh my God.
He's typically a soft tissue and a orthopedic surgeon.
Did you take any pictures?
I did take pictures. I didn't take the picture I should have of her nose after surgery, but she recovered fine. And he said, don't have to come back, just send me photographs of her face, whatever you want. He said, I don't care how many you send me every day, every week, every month. So I did do that. And he said, if 2 years out she's okay, then it's not going to reoccur, and she's been over 2 years clean.
Wow.
So yeah, she went from not probable to recovery, actually.
And it's been 3 years?
It's been about 2 since her surgery.
Surgery?
Yeah, yeah.
And she's doing really well, and she's a big girl.
She is a big girl. She's
she's beautiful.
She just went
big
to
green eyes, and we got fur all over the place.
Yeah, she's a real shadow right now.
Yeah, that's okay, that's okay. So this is part of the thing that we do at Forever Paws. In other places, she would have been put down right away. You know, as soon as it was diagnosed as cancer, would have been put down.
Right.
And we had another guest on recently that was taking care of the deformed cats that we had at the shelter. We had 2 deformed cats at the shelter, one with a crooked front paw.
I think I saw that online.
And one with a crooked neck.
Ooh.
So I believe both of those have already been adopted. So we do crazy things at Forever Paws.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say enough of good stuff about Forever Paws.
Yeah.
We give animals so many chances. I don't know if you recall the dog Pasha.
I remember the name.
The Pasha?
Oh, yes.
Giovanni.
Giovanni, yes,
right,
yes.
So that was another animal. Pasha was, I think it was in 2021. So that was almost 3 years ago too.
Right.
Might have been all in the same time frame.
I think all on the same time frame, yep.
So when we got Pasha was a Forever Paws, very, very sick animal. Came to us from Fall River Animal Control, was found on a rock in a pond.
Awful.
And this was the most emaciated dog I think I've ever seen. And the skin looked like it was a rock.
Oh, God.
It was so bad, and it looked like it was falling off of him.
Wow.
He was a very, very sick dog. And our staff, if you remember Nolan was in love with that dog.
I do. I remember seeing pigs online.
Beard,
Yep.
And Nolan took great care of that dog while it was at the shelter. And believe it or not, we found another family like yourself that was willing to take the dog in hospice because we didn't think the dog was going to make it. Actually, the veterinarians that worked with this dog gave it a 3-month to 6-month time frame. and it's been 3 years, and the dog is doing wonderful.
I've been in touch with him.
Yeah,
we have, because they both had cancer, I guess.
Yeah, this dog was not going to make it. And now when I see pictures on Instagram of Giovanni,
Right.
the fur looks like velvet.
Yeah, he was beautiful.
Black velvet compared to the beginning.
That dog hit the jackpot.
That dog hit the jackpot. Well, so did
Yeah, Rain
Rain.
did
I
too.
mean, I can't imagine what you did with the vet bills with
Yeah,
Rain.
I know.
So, I mean, these are things that happen at Forever Paws. Now, Pasha and Rain would have been candidates to be euthanized.
Absolutely.
Because the vet care alone would be extreme.
Yeah.
But, you know, in essence, we adopt out these special needs animals and hope that hospice, at least they'll have a place to live comfortably until their time has come.
Right.
And both of them,
did.
of them did.
Yeah.
They did wonderful. So, and I also remember Rain was on our calendar. We did 2 calendars, I think.
Right.
And Rain was on both of them.
Yep.
One in a cluster of special needs, and then he had his own month.
She had her own month, yep.
Yeah,
yep,
so
yep.
that was a month of Rain. So
Yep.
this is great for anybody out there that ever followed Rain's story to see Rain here with us today. And do you have other pets?
I have 4 other cats. No, 3 now. 1 passed away, and then we have a dog, all rescues, and 1 cockatiel.
Oh, you have a bird
Yeah,
too.
but we all keep everybody separate and safe.
So do you know Ramsey at the shelter?
Was that the big bird?
No, it's the small cockatiel.
Is it?
It flies
Oh.
all over the shelter.
Oh, I didn't know that, really?
Yeah. I'm like, Ari, can't we get that bird adopted? Well, the staff loves Ramsey. So I actually had Ramsey on this TV show a long time ago. So Ramsey's lived at the shelter, I think, going on 2.5, maybe 3 years. Ramsey came as a hoarding case with about 13 birds.
Oof.
They were a mess. They had no
Yeah.
feathers on
Wow.
them. They looked like flying skin.
Oof.
They were pathetic. And Ramsey just stayed, never
He
left.
likes it there.
So Ramsey flies all around, and a couple of times he's landed on a customer's head, and they're not happy with that. But Ramsey actually wears a diaper.
Oh my God, really? He'll
Yes.
tolerate that?
He tolerates the diaper. I'm
surprised.
And it's a little bird diaper, so that way he can fly around without
Right.
pooping, because they will poop indiscriminately.
Oh, I know.
On your head, on your shoulder, on the computers.
Yeah.
So we have Ramsey. So I guess, you know, what I'm saying to you today is, like, we do different things at Forever Paws.
I remember the big parrot you had not that long ago.
Yeah,
that
we
found
had
a home.
that big red-green thing.
The
that came
Amazon, I
in.
think, or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had that one too. God, we've had so many crazy
Yeah.
things. We haven't had an alligator yet.
Don't say that, because now you will.
Well, because Forever Animal Control brings in crazy things like ducks and things like that.
okay.
We have those. So you never did foster, right?
No.
You just
Just right out adopted her.
just
Yep.
straight out and adopted.
Yep. And then here you go, shedding everywhere.
So what do you do for a living?
I was in insurance for like 30 years. I retired. Now I work at Home Depot, and I'm retiring actually this year as a paint associate. I turned 65 in August, so I'm going to fully retire and then work part-time there. And I told Ariana I'd like to volunteer.
You would?
Yeah,
like, oh,
I
good.
really
We
would.
had the volunteer
Yeah.
coordinator
Yeah.
on already,
I would
too.
like to do that, yeah.
We've had a lot of our coordinators. We call them coordinators.
Right.
So like, we have Denise, who's a membership coordinator, and she's also the foster coordinator.
Okay.
Joyce is the volunteer coordinator. Diane Cody is the outreach coordinator. So we came up with the departments. It used to be just me and Gail that did all this stuff. And then we started getting helpers. As our board of directors grew, we got different people on the board. Hi. No, we can go in if you want. You can hang out. So we have different board of directors who do different jobs now instead of just us doing it.
Right.
So yeah, if you come on as a volunteer, that would be awesome. You could work either in the building or outside of the building. We have volunteers that work on committees too.
Oh, all right.
Diane always needs volunteers for outreach. So you could take the cat to a nursing home.
Oh, wow, really?
That's Diane's job.
Oh,
She's
that'd
the
be cool.
outreach coordinator. She does the programs, like she'll do a high school program where they're doing a career day at the high school. I don't think Diane's doing the career day. I think it's Gail and another board member, Susan, and they're going to Durfee High School, and they have all the different jobs in the animal field, catalogs and stuff that they can do, so you can do that. And that would all be with Diane Cody, the outreach coordinator. The nursing homes, the schools. She does things like Subaru.
Oh,
had
yeah.
us go there.
Right.
You know, we did a whole day at Subaru. And there are things like that she does. Races, events in the city of Fall River, events in the city of New Bedford, where they want a table with information, and she's always looking for people to
Oh,
help
yeah.
her do that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That would be great,
Yeah.
and you could always bring Rain
Yeah,
with you.
actually, that was actually, you don't have to be certified as a special, like, what do you call it, like, cat that can be going to nursing homes or anything. They just like let that happen.
They'll let her go
Oh,
in. Yeah,
cool.
they'll let her go in. Diana's taken lots of cats. She grooms them, gets them all cleaned up, has their nails trimmed, because, you know, the elderly,
Oh, right.
their skin
Oh, yeah.
will rip. Woo!
I know, right? She's bad.
She's a good girl, though. Look at her. Oh, my God,
I
she's
know.
so thick.
Yeah, she's wicked thick.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing a Lions thing with
Oh,
her.
the lion
Yeah,
cut?
because I can't. In the summertime, it's just overwhelming.
Yeah.
But,
well, she's so healthy.
Yeah, she's very healthy. She's a
Wow.
good eater. She's a big girl. She just had her vet appointment yesterday. She had her annual visit, and Dr. Bork said she was really good. So
So she's doing well.
Yeah.
I'm so glad she was able to come on our
Yeah.
show today
Say hi.
to visit people. And if anybody that bought the calendars, she was a whole month by herself one year, and one year she was with the special needs, like with Pasha, you know. So we do crazy things at
Yep.
Forever Paws. Do you go to any of our fundraisers?
I don't actually. I see them, but once I'm retired, I probably will have
yeah,
more
we
time
have a
to do
lot
that.
of fundraising.
Do.
We have a fundraising committee that does all this work.
You're doing one at the Elks Club in a
Yeah, that's going to be the clam boil. That'll be in May. We have Dry Queen Bingo. We have the September event where we sell about 200 tickets. We have a sit-down dinner or a meal. Last year we changed it. We didn't have a sit-down dinner. We had a buffet kind of thing.
Okay.
And we did, instead of round tables with reservations for 8, we did cocktail style.
Oh, nice.
So you had high tops and benches and you know, small
More
tables.
socializing around,
More
yeah.
socializing. So
Yeah.
we did that kind of event. We do the Festival of Trees where
Oh, I've
people
seen that.
make. You've seen that?
I've seen that.
Where people will make a tree and we put them up for raffle ticket
Mm-hmm.
bids and everything. So it turns out to be a great event. So yeah, you can get involved in that once
Definitely.
you start volunteering.
Yeah, I think it's a good shelter. You know, I respect it because they take care of their animals.
So you've had good experiences
yeah.
there.
It was nice. I mean, they even had her on chemotherapy when I got her. Chemotherapy
Yeah.
pills, which they didn't have to do that. You know, it's expensive, and so.
Yeah, we do crazy things for the animals at the shelter. We give them a good shot
Right.
at living. I mean, some animals don't make it.
Right.
You know, we had an old senior dog, a terrier mix with, it was blind in one eye and a cataract growing in the other eye and has a mass.
Oh, boy.
And in most shelters, that dog would have been gone
Yeah,
too.
immediately.
So we transported that dog to an old dog shelter
Oh.
in Foster.
Cool.
You know, Foster, Gloucester, there's no
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
So it went to Foster, Rhode Island, to an old dog place, and they took care of the mass. And I don't know if they got removed a cataract, so the dog could see out one eye. It's a sweet little old girl. Her name is Mabel, and you know they've done a good job with her. So those are the kind of things Forever Paws
And it's
does.
expensive. I mean, people don't understand when they take on an animal, like, it's not cheap, and vets are very, very pricey.
It's a crazy world in the vet
yeah,
world today.
it is. And they don't make a lot of money. I mean, they first come out of, like,
Yeah, they don't.
They don't.
Well, Melanie, it's great. Our time is up, and I
thank you.
want to thank you so much for bringing Rain here today. I'll probably have to take
I know,
a
shower.
allergy medication to get all this fur out
I know,
of
me
here.
too.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming, and
Thank
thank
you.
you, Rain, for coming today.
Bye.
Hello everyone, here we are from Straight from the Paws. Today I have one of my most dearest friends who's worked with me for a long time, and our Animal Control Office Supervisor from Fall River, Cindy Berard Cadima.
Hi.
Hi Cindy, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So you've been working with us for quite a few years now.
I have been animal control since 2006.
2006? Wow, that's a long time.
It is a long time.
And you are the supervisor.
I'm the supervisor here.
And
yes.
how many people do you have working with you?
We have usually 2 people. We're looking for someone currently. So right now it's just me and one other person.
And that's a lot to cover on a daily basis for the whole city.
yeah.
That's a lot. And we have a big city.
We have a big city.
And you also have the farmland that you have to take care of as well.
We do barn inspections.
You do
too.
barn
Yeah.
inspections. And you look also at the, if I'm correct, the dog park. You go and check that out to make sure that people are doing what
We
they're supposed
do.
to.
We patrol all the parks actually, just to make sure people are keeping dogs on leashes. And but yeah, the dog part's great, so we like going there.
So you keep yourself very busy.
We do. We're busy.
So, and you basically, some people think that you're on 24/7, and that basically is true, but not necessarily just to call up and say I want to surrender my cat or whatever. So, and there's different things that happen throughout the day, And we tell everybody at the shelter, if you're calling animal control, leave a message. They're on the road, and you check your messages, correct?
Correct. There's nobody in the office right now, so if somebody's calling right now, they have to leave a message, and one of us will get back to them.
Okay, so that's really important.
Very important.
And people have to understand that. Can you give us your phone number?
Our phone number is 508-324-2037.
Okay, and so you do that, and throughout the day, you have to go and you take in all different kinds of animals.
We do everything. We do everything from orphaned wildlife to dog bites to injured animals, stray animals, of course. We do a million things. We patrol the whole city every single day for issues that are going on.
And if people don't know that, you also on your website, on Facebook, everything that you find during the day, you say, I found this animal, it's been brought to Forever Paws, and people know how to contact us.
We do. We post everything so the animal can go home as soon as possible. We don't like to keep them at the shelter if they don't have to stay there.
Right. Now, let me ask you a question. What is the most exotic or crazy animal you've brought to us?
Brought to you guys? I don't know. We've had some monitor lizards. We've had some turtles, I think. No farm animals, I don't think, to
You're
you
not
guys.
the one that brings the rooster and...
Oh, we do. Oh,
yeah.
that's true. We do. We have chickens and roosters and things. I forget about that. And ducks.
Yeah, chicken and
Ducks.
roosters. And somebody, I don't think it was you though, I think it was New Bedford brought us 4 little rabbits. And the staff came in the next morning and we had a couple of more little rabbits. So, as they say, they multiply. So they come in and they multiply. But I think that, I think we have a good relationship. I think, the staff works well with you. You work well with us. And people are always concerned, if there's an emergency, they could call the police department.
Yeah, so we're on 8 to 4 every single day except for holidays, like major holidays. After 4 o'clock, you have to call the police department and a sergeant will approve or not approve if it's an emergency, and then they'll send one of us out if it's an emergency. Last night I had a dog hit by a car. That was an emergency. I needed to go out on that, so.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll give you an example. I won't use names or anything, but I know that this weekend, or this past week, there was a family dispute or something, and an animal was left in the house. They were bringing the dog out. And I don't know if you came to pick it up or animal control, someone else on animal control came, and then people calling me up and asking me, was the animal at Forever Paws? You don't necessarily always bring the animal to us. You could maybe contact a relative, and that person would take the animal before coming to us.
If we can find a next of kin, we will do that. It's just better for the animal to be
Right.
with family than in a shelter,
Which is important. Are you finding a lot of hoarding cases in the city?
We're getting a few hoarders here and there, definitely. Not horrible yet. When I worked at the MSPCA, we had some pretty serious ones, but ours aren't horrible. Our last one, I think, might have been 25 cats and 2 dogs, so it wasn't huge, but it was dirty and tough.
And you have to go in, do you wear hazmat suits when you go in?
We can do that. We wear the stuff on our shoes, and we usually have to go in a trap for a few days. A lot of these animals aren't socialized, so we have to catch them in traps and bring them to you guys. But when they went to you guys, they were all friendly and nice, and you guys are finding homes for them, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't always work out that way, but
No.
sometimes it does. And I think that we've noticed a big kick. I mean, just the month of February, we had 75 adoptions. And I did the numbers for March, and I want to say it was like 54, maybe a little bit more than that. I mean, don't you think that that's a lot in the past years? We haven't had that many in this time of season. We're usually slow. We're getting into kitten season, but we're usually slow.
Yeah, I was confused on that too. We were waiting for our break, and we never got our break.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we said. We've been waiting for that break, and it never
It never
happened.
happened.
No.
Never happened.
And people are confused, and I think that we should at least address the fact that you don't have any vets on your staff. You only have your animal control, I don't mean only, but animal control officers. And the same thing with the shelter. We don't have veterinary care. And people call up and they say, well, I call, because sometimes you get a spade wagon down, and they think that you're going to have that all the time. And that's not true.
Yeah, no, we can't do that all the time, but we're lucky enough to be able to have it twice a year. We can usually have the spay wagon down there where they can spay and neuter people's pets for free, which is really nice. We work with several veterinarians, so we can recommend go here, go there, but we don't have them on our staff. We can't just offer free care.
That's the same thing with the shelter. I mean,
Yeah.
the same thing with the shelter. And we were just, Heather and I I'm having my handy Andy vacuum cleaner fixed. They go on a yearly checkup because I'm a clean fanatic, and so I want to make sure my vacuum cleaner is top notch. And we were talking about, they were asking us about some recommendations for veterinary because their vet had retired, and we talked about a lot of the local vets are now being bought out by corporate offices, and that's changing the whole style of veterinary care. And do you see that, people complaining about that to you?
People are complaining. People can't afford the prices, which is kind of sad. We do have pet partners in the city and Forever Animal Hospital. They've been great with us, so we recommend the locals.
Yeah, it's tough, but even the locals have gone sky high.
They've
I mean,
upped
their
their
prices, they have
prices.
to.
They
you
have
know?
to. Yeah,
they
they're
have
paying
to.
it, yeah.
I mean, I know that Bev and I met with Dr. Gerke from Pet Partners, and she's wonderful to the shelter. And excuse me, she wanted to talk to me about, well, you got to think about how many people we got on staff that day and how many people work, and you fill the electricity. If I did that, I'd be asking people to pay $800,000 for an animal doctor.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
do
a
that.
lot. You can't, and it's, yeah.
So that's why, as a nonprofit, we do a lot of fundraising, and we accept a lot of donations and stuff from people because that's the way we stay going. I mean, it's hard. It really is. And we help you. I know if you need any dog food or cat food and you need anything.
Oh, you guys
get
are
it.
incredible. Yeah, we help the city. We help people that can't afford their pets or they can't afford to feed their pets that month. And you guys always have food for us to be able to give them. And it's
Good.
really nice. We have a good, it's a good thing.
We have a good relationship going. Yeah, we have
Definitely.
we have a good thing going there. It's worked out pretty well over the years. And I'm just going to put a shout out that you did start working in the city. You actually worked with us at Forever Paws when we were on Montauk Street for a while.
I did. I worked there for a little while.
Yep.
I started my career in Western Mass. I worked at the Dakin Animal Shelter. I've started volunteering, and that's how this all happened.
This all happened. I'm not quite sure how this all happened to me, but I remember way back when you out at UMass Amherst, and you came back into the city, and we hired you for a little bit, and then you went on to animal control, which obviously was something, the passion that you had, and which was good. But it is a difficult. It's getting more difficult, I think, in this day and age, and it is for everybody. You go to the grocery store, you see the prices of everything between the animal food and your own food. Sometimes people have to make a choice, and I will say that there are some food pantries out there that do give out food for the animals. So check your local food pantry. You may
Absolutely.
not need to go in, but maybe towards the end of the month you're looking. We still take people in. They come in, they give us their license, and we have some people that sometimes, like you say, regulars that are really down on luck and don't have a lot. And I said, I'd rather my animal eat than me, and we don't want that to happen. So when we have it, we pay it forward,
Yep.
and that's what we do for the animal control, and we also pay it forward to for our residents here. Some people get upset with us when they'll come in and I say, well, I'm sorry, we don't have anything today. And they get angry. What do you mean you got a whole
donations,
pantry? Well, yeah, because we need it. We have so many animals in the
Right.
building.
Right.
So that makes it difficult. And do you have any ideas, like we're in the springtime? I mean, we're just now, in April, for tick and flea, where do people, do you recommend that they go online to purchase some of that stuff?
I don't. I think they should just talk to their vet. I think some of that stuff gets dangerous, so I think they should speak with a vet, and whatever the vet recommends, I think that's what they should use.
I agree 100%. I think it's important that people understand that, in the veterinary care. And one of the things too that I shouldn't mention, but I will, is that, and this, and we know this in the animal world, is that veterinarians are the highest suicide rate in the last several years. And Bev and I have been to a couple of meetings and saw some statistics written up, and it is true. And people say, why? Well, you can talk to your patient, but you can't talk to the animal. You've got to know what's going on. And then during COVID, people were getting volatile when they were told they couldn't go in with their animal. I mean, I know when I couldn't go in with my dog.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
I didn't like it, and you don't get to
Yeah.
talk to the veterinarian right away because they're going to the next client, and you've got to wait, and maybe they get to the phone call. Sometimes I know my veterinarian, because I know her personally, would be calling 10:30 at night to letting us know what's going on.
She knew you could wait, yeah.
Right, because she knew I could wait, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not till the next day, and I don't like waiting. I'm not very patient.
Yeah, me neither.
So it's very difficult. It is very, very difficult. And the world that we're working in right now, we're currently working in, is become more difficult. And
agree.
I don't know how we can change that. I don't think we can. But one of the things is, just a shout out if there's anyone watching today and you think that what kind of experience are you looking for hiring someone?
We're not even really worried about animal experience. I feel like we can teach that as long as you're not afraid. It's more people experience. We have to work with people that maybe can't afford to do certain things, or we have to try to work with people, not against them. I don't know. A lot of people apply for the job and they say, we hate people, we only like animals. I can't have those kind of people. We have to be able to work with the community.
You have to communicate.
Yeah.
And that is also a problem at the shelters. We have a word that we use if need be. We have a password that because everybody has their own walkie-talkies now, and if someone says that password, then we know that there's something going on up front. We get all the volunteers to the back of the building, and we call the police. Obviously, someone's going to call the police.
That's an excellent system.
And that has happened more than not. And in the last year, it's happened more than it has in all the time that we've been there. We started the password maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
Nice.
But this has become an issue, and it's scary.
Yeah.
And I don't think people, sometimes they get very angry because, they want, for example, I don't have my rabies certificate. I did it, but I can't find it. Well, we don't have proof. We need proof. Well, your vet doesn't have the proof. We need the proof. And then they get upset. And then we say, well, you have to wait another day because we have to get a rabies. And they think, well, just have your staff do it. We can't do that by law.
No, it's not allowed, yeah.
So they get angry, and then they think that we're trying to make money. And then when my staff says to them, well, no, you got to pay it to the city of Fall River or New Bedford, or, where they get really upset. Oh, all it is money making. That's all you care about is the money. And, it's very hard to sit back and keep your mouth shut and say, no, I'm sorry, it isn't. It's a very difficult situation, and this is how the city makes their money to pay their staff, and we have to get paid through them, and people don't get that.
They don't get it, and we also have to understand this is their dog. Would I want my dog staying an extra day? I wouldn't.
No.
So we also have to kind of see that side too, like we get it, So, and I think you guys have a great staff. I think you do fantastic with that, honestly.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I think, animal control, both of you and Corinne do a great job with it as well. You have to be compassionate. You have to understand. I mean, I have said I like animals more than I like people sometimes. But again, my former profession was a teacher, and I worked with special needs, and I do have the compassion and understanding to deal with people that have difficulties. And like you say, if that's my little Lola that's behind bars, so to speak, as some people say, you got him in jail. No, I don't have him in jail. And I just did a spring newsletter, and I said, my staff, we not only give them a place to stay and make sure they're taken care of physically, but we also take care. They try to give them the love when they pick them up. They give them the cuddles and all that. If someone's really bad, the clerk up front will be holding a dog. The office manager.
Yeah, they're getting walked and played with and
everything.
trained, and
it's
all kinds of things are happening.
And we have
over
trainers
there.
coming in to help. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not. They're not in jail per se. They're getting more than a prisoner would get in jail.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For certain. And we don't consider it jail. We consider we're holding on to them. We're very loving. For a loving home until we find that forever home, and that's how we see it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to tell our audience about your business?
The only thing is the dog licenses for 2023 expired last week. So if your dog isn't licensed, get them licensed.
My dog got licensed. I went last week.
Very
and
good.
I got the
very
shelter
good.
license. We're all
Very
set.
good.
And we have
Mine
a
too.
sign. Yep. We have a sign up at the shelter.
Excellent.
Let people know that the dog licenses are available. You go to the city, you might have to pay, and you're all set. Well, I want to thank you for coming in, and thank you for all that you do for the city animals, and thank you for working so well with us.
Well, thank you guys too. Couldn't do it without you.